Well, happy Saturday, folks. The real Captain Kirk here. We're live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem, Pennsylvania on the 24th here, Saturday. Start off kind of cloudy, gloomy. Again, see some sun here this week, but this weekend here in the eastern PA area is the coldest in over 40 years if we count Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Good news, a little bit of a warming trend and more blue skies we get toward Sunday, Monday here. So again, Memorial Day, again, it's all about remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, again, for our freedoms here in America. We spoke at a DOMO Agentic AI Summit. They had about 5,000 folks on this call. It was crazy. We had a 20-minute session here talking about our Power 1 Degree technology and how we predict seasonal sales, again, with the new DOMO 360 solution. So check out this link here. Again, I'll put it in the YouTube video here. But again, cool. And thanks the DOMO team for having us on the call. Looking at Memorial Day weekend again here. So wholesale change from last year. Last year, again, quite warm for the country. The Northeast was very warm. And again, this year, just downright cold. Again, so year on year, again, we're the coolest nationally in 17 years, wettest in 3 years. We want to see warmer, drier for big retail seasonal sales here. If there's a bright spot, it's going to be obviously in the western half of the country, especially the Pacific Northwest where it's warm and dry. So unfortunately, again, not a great Memorial Day weekend here for those in the Great Lakes and Northeast. Looking at our Power 1 quantifies this on seasonal sales. So nationally, it's 6 degrees colder, but here in Pennsylvania, it's 15 degrees colder than last year. Again, coldest in 40-some years here in the Bethlehem, PA area. So again, Power 1 says that every degree hotter is about a 15% increase in air conditioner sales nationally. 10 degrees hotter, 150% increase. Obviously, we're colder, so the downward trends here are showing you a 60% decline at least in air conditioner sales. I'm not inclined to go get an air conditioner since we still have the heat on here in eastern PA. Bedding plants, again, and they can do okay if it's dry, but still going to be down because it's quite cold. Sun care, obviously down. None of us are heading to the beach. Bug sprays, tractors, all those lawn and garden categories down about 30%. Pool chemicals, we're not even there. Our pool just opened here in the eastern PA area, and I'm sure we're not too many folks are going to be heading to the pool here. It's downright frigid. So again, huge negative impact on seasonal sales. It's another severe week here. Again, it's crazy with these cold fronts. Obviously, cold clashing with warm creates all the severe weather here. So tornadoes now the most in 14 years, hail now the most in 8 years, wind the most in 14 years. So added about 184 tornadoes, 595 hail events, and 1,279 wind cases. So a crazy week here. This may diminish a little bit and shift a little bit to the south here, but again, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday shows again pretty much from the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas into the parts of the southeast here over the next few days. Look at last week, world summer here. Got kind of crazy cold here in the U.S., 7.1 colder than last year, coldest in 23 years, second coldest in 40 years. So just crazy cold here for the latter half of May. Hot 90-degree days, again, would be limited more to the west, but they were still down 10%, sixth most in 40 years. But again, most of that's in the west, none of that's really in the east. 32% wetter than last year, wettest in 5, eighth wettest in 40 years. So again, cool, wet are not the trends we want for stronger retail sales. Look at the U.S. Again, we were the kind of the big winner here with a cold. Canada also the coldest in 16 years. Europe coldest in 4 years. Australia warmest in 3, but still below average. Again, so on a national scale, it was actually the coolest, world scale actually, coolest in 6 years. So again, a cool trend for sure here. If we look at this week here, again, downward trend again. So 3.2 cooler than last year, coolest in 3 years, 11th coolest in 40 years, so below average national temperatures. Again, same suspects, central U.S. into the eastern mid-Atlantic. Hot 90-degree days down about 39%, 20th least in 40 years, and precip still up, 40% wetter than last year, wettest in 10 years, 6th wettest in 40 years. So cool, wet or not, that's the trends we want to see here. Next week starts off the two things. Again, official start of meteorological summer, 1 June, and the start of the hurricane season, 1 June. Little bit of a moderation here. We'll see. Models have been struggling here with the cold. They certainly didn't pick up the cold here for this week as well. The magnitude of it is extreme. So 2.4 cooler than last year, coolest in 3 years. Maybe 12th warmest in 40 years, so above average. We'll see. But again, a lot of below average there in the northeast, southeast, even parts of the south Rocky Mountains. Hot 90-degree days, again, way down 42% versus last year, least in 8 years, 17th least in 40 years, below average. Rainfall still up, 36% wet in last year, wettest in 12, 8th wettest in 40. So again, general theme of cool, wet. Again, this is just going to lead to excess inventory at retail. Again, air conditioners, fans, some apparel categories, cold beverages, things we buy when it's really hot. We're probably just not as inclined to buy those things right now because we don't need them. Look at the world 2-week temperature outlook here. This aggregates the 2 weeks here through the 7th of June. Again, general theme is cool central and east, hot Pacific Northwest. Same general trends in Europe, hotter Western Europe, Spain, France, and cooler toward Eastern Europe. Map inset left are the trends versus last year. And then the total rainfall, snowfall here, again, stormy across the south from Texas to Florida. They'll take it. Certainly some areas in Florida are still parched. So again, this will be eliminating drought for many. Drought here in the Northeast is pretty much gone. We were amazing how through about April, end of April, we just very, very, very dry. And then now just been excessively wet here in May. In fact, off the scale wet for some of us. So with that, folks, have a great week ahead and a great Memorial Day weekend here. And we will talk to you again next week.